Hello everybody and welcome back to BSO Gaming. This is your boy Kane here and I am checking in with all of the gaming news you have missed recently. The biggest news of the week is that Nintendo is expected to drop a surprise Nintendo Direct prior to next week's Nintendo Direct that's going to reveal the Switch 2 in its entirety, along with probably a bunch of games and other first-party games, or even possibly some third-party games that are going to be coming along with the Switch 2. We don't yet quite know what's all going to be a part of this Switch, the Switch presentation, the first one, but we know from several sources that it's expected to happen this week on Thursday. So keep it right here on BSO, and we'll have more on that when it comes. The second thing that we want to talk about is the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, this was a game that, of course, got compared to Ghost of Tsushima, which, if you haven't played, is probably one of the best games I've ever played, at least in terms of the visual, unique experience. I truly love that game. But Assassin's Creed Shadows was sort of the game that people had been asking for before Ghost of Tsushima came out. And there was a lot of trepidation as to whether or not people were going to accept it when it finally came out after Ghost of Tsushima. It sort of seemed like, okay, this might be a little bit of a redux. But that doesn't seem to be the case at all. Assassin's Creed Shadow has not only tested really well, it's received extraordinarily high reviews. It got an 8 from IGN, and people have been praising it as the best story since Black Flag. Now, that actually means something to me, because Black Flag is my personal favorite game in the entire Assassin's Creed franchise. I think that it was not only the best game that they've made, I think it was the most complete, had the best story. It was the one that hewed the closest to actual history while still doing its actual Assassin's Creed fictional stuff. So for me, that's some pretty big news. And I have plans to check it out. I wanted to kind of wait and see what the hubbub was going to be about before I bought myself another Assassin's Creed game that I probably won't play for many years. I still, believe it or not, have Odyssey and I believe Origin and Mirage to beat, although we have beat everything else. So, you know, I've got a backlog of AC, but this one may actually jump to the front now that I've seen the reviews and the praise for it. Thirdly, one of the things that I want to tell you guys is that Game Informer, yes, that Game Informer is now back after a couple of months. You might remember that Game Informer wrapped up their operations. This was supposed to be a permanent thing. They were shutting down after 33 years of providing amazing coverage. Game Informer is something I've read since I was a child. But Game Informer coming back with its entire team. Everybody is back. They're launching the magazine back, and all of the staff, every single person that was with the company is back. So a huge shout out to Game Informer for their return. I know they're hyped. I'm definitely hyped, and I can't wait to see what they come up with next. For right now, that's where we're going to leave the news, but expect us to be back in a couple of days with another video talking all about what dropped at the Nintendo Switch presentation, and also bringing you a little bit of news that is supposed to drop a little bit later this week that I don't want to really get into right now, just in case it doesn't drop. So, be prepared for a second video. In the meantime, keep it locked right here on BSO, and we'll catch you next time. Take it east.